continue with the snow emergency that was declared just a day or so ago. We anticipate the emergency and the challenges we have related to this will go at least multiple days. I want to thank all of our crews, the men and women in Montgomery County, many of whom you see here in the emergency center, who are in fact very much engaged in a multiple day operation. Many have gone long hours, and we certainly appreciate that. We hope that we'll be able to wind this down as quickly as we possibly can. Let me indicate also that Montgomery County government is closed tomorrow. Our public schools are closed tomorrow and Tuesday as well. Our operations continue. We are primarily looking at the primary roads and the secondary roads throughout Montgomery County with the expectation that we will try to get most of that by tonight, and tomorrow we will be aggressively into our residential neighborhoods. But let me warn our residents that in the neighborhoods mean that we will at least make a pass through the neighborhood, clear a pathway. It will not be, as you've seen in other times throughout Montgomery County, where you see at all occasions clear pavement. We say that in order to ensure that we get as much as possible in terms of responding to our neighborhood and residents as quickly as possible. Now, in order for us to accomplish that, we continue to need the cooperation of many of our residents. Do not get out and drive. That will only hamper the operations that we have in Montgomery County. We can, in fact, make progress if the car's off the road in the driveway. But if you're out driving, you're going to only clash with the vehicles that will be there to help you in resolving the challenge. I know that there are limited operations tomorrow for Metro. We will continue to assess our own ride-on operation, and as of now, we do not intend to start operations with ride-on tomorrow. We'll assess that later on and give an indication of when we're prepared to do so. Again, I want to thank the men and women who are here, those who work these long hours, those in our 311 center, call center as well, and all of those who are our first responders who've helped immensely for us to, in fact, get a hold of this very difficult problem. We are making progress, but we still have a long, long ways to go before we can declare victory. Victory means that we can get out, there are no safety concerns. Victory means that the residents' communities are clear. Victory means that we'll be able to open schools, and that is not at least available for us for the next couple of days. With that, I'm going to call Al Roshdieh to come up and say a few words. Al?
Thank you, sir. Department of Transportation is engaged, fully engaged. We have been working around the clock since the beginning and prior to the storm starts. This is a historic storm, a lot of snow, and we are working our way through this thing. Our highway people are working hard. This is not a typical snow removal operation as we are acquainted with. We actually have to haul away most of the snow because from our neighborhood streets is narrow and it requires hauling away. Our intersection, again, requires haul away operation. And I would ask for your patience, and we will get to your neighborhood soon, and we will be working hard until we get this clear, as Mr. Leggett indicated. With that, Richard Dorsey is our Chief of Operation for the Highway Services, and he's going to give you an update.
Good afternoon. We are currently addressing the emergency network in Montgomery County. We have over 1,100 miles of emergency roads and thousands of intersections. So if the public is just patient with us, we'll do our diligence just to get these roads opening up so we can get to some normalcy back in this Montgomery County network.
Okay. All right, there any questions? We'll be glad to respond to those at this point in time. And again, let me thank the media for coming out, and thank you for getting the word out about the operations, the safety concerns. You've done a magnificent job. When I look around and see the number of people that are off the roads and the people who've gotten these warnings and these alerts, thank you for the job that you've done to help the residents, not only here in Montgomery County, but throughout the region. If there are any questions, I'll respond to them. Yes, ma'am. Well, we encourage pedestrians not to walk into the road because the sight distances for vehicles is very challenging, and you really cannot see with these huge snow banks that are along the road. Secondly, the safety concerns. We have ice. You had vehicles that are doing emergency responses, and some of our vehicles out there, they've been challenged themselves. And so when you have to compete with people who are actually in the roads, that makes it very difficult and very dangerous. I know that the sidewalks are compromised to some degree. The best advice we could tell people is to stay home, stay off the roads, and certainly do not walk in the roads, because that would only create the danger and the challenges for the many who are out there working today.
And how is the refreeze going to interfere, I guess, with your progress that you've been making on the?
Well, certainly it's going to make the ice heavier and make the trucks a little bit heavier. You may want to talk about that, Al Roshdieh?
Yeah, one of the challenges is once we get a meltdown, and then over the night hours, we'll get a refreeze. So before we can get back into our snow removal and snow plowing operation, we have to treat the meltdown. So it is a challenge, and we are strategized to address those challenges.
And what is the strategy?
Well, we're at 4 a.m., well, throughout the night, we monitor road conditions. So if we see icing or other challenges, we'll address those. But typically at 4 a.m., we'll go out and salt all the plow route, or not plow routes, excuse me, all the salt routes, which include emergency and secondary roads, just to make sure that the rush hours are addressed. But because the government is closed, schools are closed, it's not much of a rush hour, but it's still a concern of ours to address those networks.
And can you all explain more about this? Because you're not going to get to the community neighborhoods till tomorrow. So should people, when will that happen? And then you said it's just going to be one path. How do they use it? Just sort of more sort of what people should do.
Well, we won't get to the residential communities until tomorrow.
Right.
It will be a multiple-day operation. A multiple day means that we will assess sometimes tomorrow to see how much progress we've made, and decide at that point in time when we think that it's really safe for us to open government, whether or not our ride-on operation will be in effect, and they would have a better indication about schools as well throughout the week. But the pass tomorrow is a pass to clear a path, not all of the lanes throughout the community, not clearly to the pavement in many areas. And so we will get into communities, start tomorrow, but this will be a multiple day operation. So all communities will not see the vehicles in their communities. We will start tomorrow, and we will aggressively do that, but it will take multiple days for us to get to the end of that.
And what do you suggest people do who have to go to work tomorrow?
Well, we encourage people, if you can, not to go to work tomorrow, because you have a challenge of getting out of the residential communities to whatever lines of transportation. Keep in mind also that Ramada is not working and operating tomorrow, only in limited services. Our ride-ons are not. So we encourage people, please, to stay home, continue to stay off the roads, because you would have difficulties getting out of your residential communities, and you have the sight distance and other problems even along major thoroughfares throughout the county and throughout the region.